You like things just so. So do we. The Bank of Clark is the bank for that. We all have an inner perfectionist who deserves things done their way. Maybe you like to bank in person. Maybe you prefer to bank online. We get it. From banking to lending to wealth management, we're all about getting things done just the way you like them. We're the bank for that. Find out what banking designed for you is all about. Visit your local Bank of Clark branch today or go to bankofclark.bank. We're the bank for that. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello and welcome to the Corner Flag. Brighton knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup and Everton is a gift that keeps on giving. This is episode 200. Hello, welcome Aakarsh, welcome Mukesh, welcome in person yet again at the Idea Brew Studios. We are here in person. Aakarsh, this is your first time after 3 years recording in person with us.
First time in person. Yeah, I think the last time I did it sort of in person was when Mukesh was at my house once randomly in the pandemic.
Yeah.
But this feels good. There's no lag.
Yeah, there is absolutely. We can bring that in if you prefer it.
I mean, with Mukesh it'll probably come naturally.
Yeah.
But
Wait, what? Are you guys talking?
But yes, it's our 200th episode. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Congratulations.
Lots of people were asking us what our plans are for episode 200 and
Our plans were to do it.
yeah.
to make it this Monday, all three of us, and record the episode.
We say all three of us like there isn't a fourth in this gang. We have conveniently forgotten all about Prashant.
Wait till the
Or has he forgotten about us?
but wait till episode 300, huh? Then we'll see if
That's
there's
the
four
big
of us.
Yeah, I'm going to quit soon. But a lot of people asked us what our plans for episode 200 are going to be. It's just that it's a little hard to top the fact that we had Abhishek Bachchan for episode 100.
And Amitabh Bachchan really doesn't play football. So
Yeah, so it's not really like we've gone through that family tree. That's where it ends. But also, I feel like turning 200 episodes old is as good as turning 30 years old in like life. Because after a point, birthday parties just don't make sense anymore. Like you don't want to do any of that shit. You don't want to go out and celebrate or have a cake cutting or whatever. This is great because somebody here just cut a cake. And we had that cake, or at least I did. But this is a classic case of having my cake and eating it too.
It wasn't your cake. It was Ajit's cake.
It was Ajit's cake. Mukesh is dying to say something. I don't know what.
Finish.
No, I'm done.
Oh, yeah. You should do that. Aakarsh and I didn't have cake. Amogh had everything, guys. That's the kind of...
I had one piece.
that's the kind of podcast Amogh runs. Is that when we get cake, Amogh has it.
Yeah, that's true. We get...
And it shows.
Yeah, we get cake, sponsorship money. I keep it. You guys get shit. That's the way this goes. But yeah, you're fucking piping up a lot, huh, Buki? Like a person who supports a team that is still in the FA Cup. Yes, we are talking about the FA Cup fourth round because I think one of the results of this
Wait,
fourth
why
round...
am I here then? You should have told me you're not talking about the FA Cup. Maine nahi aata.
Because any piece of content requires comic relief.
Hero ka... Hero, villain or hero ka best friend. And Amogh and I keep changing hero and villain ka storylines and then hero ka best friend.
I'm the third wheel. I'm just there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping we would talk about cake for an hour. And
I'm
then
sorry,
be
you're the Vishal Malhotra of football.
Who's Vishal Malhotra?
Exactly. He's the guy who plays the best friend. Shahid Kapoor ka best friend tha Ishq Vishk mein.
Achha.
oh my god, guys. Amogh is going to be making such niche references. First he's referenced cake that only he's had. Now he's referencing actors only he knows.
Okay.
But okay.
Everybody knows Vishal Malhotra, right? Listeners, if you write in and tell me if you know Vishal Malhotra or not, everybody knows Vishal Malhotra.
That sounds like two generic North Indian names clubbed together.
Very, very.
You could have made that name up and out and unknown.
I don't know if it's his real name or not, but I feel like if you have a name called Vishal
Is
Malhotra...
he a real person? Are
He
you
is a
okay,
real
Amogh?
person.
Are you lonely? Are you making people
Wait.
up?
No.
Is this something we should talk about?
Amogh dumb hai to get him on this podcast.
Actually, yeah, why not? I will
That's
write him a message right now.
But the problem is, how will we fact check whether it's Vishal Malhotra?
Aadhaar card. Tell him to
Fuck
get
it,
his...
dude. I will show you Vishal Malhotra on my phone right now. This is weird. We're going to spend time on this podcast while we're recording. We're using our resources and we're Googling Vishal Malhotra.
But to answer your
Anytime...
question, that is what we're doing with our 200th episode.
Yes.
Finding out who Vishal Malhotra is.
This is Vishal Malhotra, dude. For listeners, I'm now showing them a picture of Vishal Malhotra on my phone. Do you not remember this guy? What are you
Gates.
talking about?
Wasn't he on like the Disney Channel? and
Yeah,
stuff?
he's been on the Disney Channel also.
Oh, this guy. No, I have
You have
clue.
no idea. His latest claim to fame is that he is now producing short films through NFTs.
No, his latest claim to fame is that we're talking about.
That's true. That's true. But yes, we are going to talk about the FA Cup.
Oh no, like back on this. I was like, I want to talk about something really random. Green tea. You guys like green tea?
No, fuck off. We were talking about Vishal Malhotra, but you had no knowledge of the man in order to stretch that conversation. तो हाँ, हम लोग अभी फुटबॉल की ही बात करेंगे ये फुटबॉल पॉडकास्ट पे.
Okay, let's do this, guys.
Are you prepared? Have you?
I am prepared. Liverpool
Because
lost.
Liverpool wasn't.
Dude, what is happening? Like, is this Klopp's 7-year itch?
I think this is Klopp's 7-year itch, and I think it's also Klopp being punished for loyalty to players who probably don't deserve loyalty. Like, football needs to be a lot more cutthroat.
But like, which players?
I think the entire midfield of
Sadio
Liverpool,
Mane.
beginning with 2 years ago, changes should have begun, and now it's all caught up.
But is it okay? You say that the fault is Klopp's for showing loyalty to players, and yes, we all know that the Liverpool midfield is aging and it needs an overhaul desperately. But why hasn't Liverpool bought those players? They've had more than enough time, and it's not like they're a poor club. They've just not made the correct transfer. Like they've got Arthur Melo, which we spoke about a few episodes ago, how they've signed an injury.
Which is also Arthur Melo's claim to fame.
What is the reason? Why aren't they signing?
No, I think Liverpool clearly don't have investment backing, in the sense that the owners have also put up the club for sale because they can't compete with. They were prepared for a millionaire economy. Now they're not prepared for a billionaire economy in football, and they clearly can't invest or don't have plans of investing the kind of numbers that now you require to get even a mediocre midfielder. Right? Like, I think nowadays 40 million, 50 million for a midfielder is quite casual. Anyone who's even had one great season charges 40, 50, if not closer to 70s. And I think Liverpool owners are not prepared for that kind of money because they're still moneyballing it. And at this point, they really stand the risk of...
I mean, they're not moneyballing it, dude. They're not,
and that's the problem.
Brentford moneyballs it.
Brentford moneyballs.
Liverpool, you cannot,
Brighton, yeah.
or Brighton moneyballs.
No.
You cannot, with a serious face, look at me and say, yeah, Liverpool are moneyballing.
No, but I'll tell you what.
No, he can. He thinks 75 million is a bargain. He can say in his books they're moneyballing.
I'm saying, see, Liverpool aren't competing. I mean, now they're not able to compete with Brighton also, so I can't say that. But they're not able to. They're not, at least theoretically, on paper, they're not competing with Brighton. Compared to teams like Man City, Newcastle, Real Madrid, Man United, they are the moneyball team in that league. Compared to Everton also, I think there's some statistics that show that Everton have spent far more money than Liverpool. Aakarsh, nobody has time for your statistics. Let me rant, bloody hell. I started Actually, from 1975, Everton have spent £3. Out of that, they've returned only £1. Enough, yaar. There's space for one more renter now.
There's none of these teams are moneyballing it.
I'm saying, as I said, relatively, amongst these top clubs, Liverpool are the underdog within the top 5. Aakarsh, you have no space in this debate, yeah. Aakarsh,
amongst all these top clubs, Liverpool are oh my god.
Which now,
you remember in that title-winning season how pompous he was being? Like, oh yeah, the glory days are back. 6 Champions Leagues also.
He
now
went from the most dominant team over the last few years to now they're just the underdogs.
But the problem is now they seem like dogs because they're not able to win against even classic underdogs. But yeah, so they don't have the investment backing, which also went tied up with Klopp's personal habit, I guess, a personal style of showing loyalty to players, especially players who've shown some form of leadership ability, which they do. I think players like Henderson, Milner have leadership abilities where they lack in other things, and now it's like they lack in most things football. I think that's really backfiring, even Fabinho to that extent.
But do you think like now Jude Bellingham is somebody who's rumored to be a target for Liverpool, as he is for the rest of the footballing world? I'd love to have him in my five-a-side team at St. Andrew's Turf. But
I'd like to have him as my flatmate.
If he comes to join my team at St. Andrew's for a five-a-side, he can live at your place.
I tried to buy him in my FIFA save for Everton. He said no.
Oh, the coast is clear for Liverpool. And he's already said no to one Merseyside club. Maybe because he likes the other.
I don't see why he would want to join Liverpool, especially. He's not at the level where he can save a team or save a midfield. He can be the star. He can be one if he's padded up enough.
But if he's joining an underdog club, I think he can. Yeah, because he's proven himself at the
World Cup. I think he needs to join a team which can back him up with other good midfielders. And he's too young to be taking on such a big role. I think what Liverpool need are 3-4 good midfielders as opposed to one excellent one and two.
You really think? Wait. Are you saying that you don't think Bellingham is a good idea for Liverpool?
I think Liverpool is a bad idea for Bellingham. I think if he comes to Liverpool, that's fantastic. Let him come. But I'm trying to see what, at least 2 years ago, I can see that I could see that, okay, you're going to be part of the transition into the new wave of, the new league of Liverpool players that are going to take the club to new heights. But now what is the project? Now it needs a complete midfield rehaul. That means you need about 4-5 midfielders who are excellent, or at least 3 great midfielders and 2-3 reasonably talented midfielders. And what that means, about 200-250 million investment in at least one summer, or at least in the span of one summer and one winter. And I don't think Liverpool look any close to doing that. It's just a sad time, guys.
But are there names being linked right now?
Are there?
Are there any players linked to Liverpool to fill
now
this
Liverpool
vacuum?
are in that zone where United were a couple of years ago, where it's the same set of players, like how Gareth Bale was linked. Every summer there are a couple of players. Now Bellingham like that, Enzo Fernandez or some point. Just anybody who has any caliber in playing in the midfield is now linked to Liverpool and is clearly not also linked to Liverpool at the same point.
But no matter what happens and who's linked to Liverpool, we know that Chelsea is going to sign them anyway. So this entire discussion is moot in a certain sense.
They park players. That's the greatest football strategy ever.
Chelsea ka scouting system is everybody else's scouting system. That's great. Cutting costs where it matters. Fucking amazing by Todd Bowley. But let's talk about the game, right? Because 2-1 victory to Brighton, and I know you have that sad look on your face, but what you're not understanding is this is great for the two of us, for the United and the Everton fan in the room. It's fucking amazing to put you through this torturous line of questioning. 2-1 victory to Brighton, late goal, 90th minute goal by Kaoru Mitoma. That guy looks like a fucking player, man.
He looks like somebody who will now be charging at least 50-60 million and won't come at an easy price.
100%.
But that's the Brighton way. I mean, they've lost Cucurella, they've lost Trossard, they've lost Dan Burn, they've lost
Graham Potter.
They've lost Graham Potter.
They're about to lose Caicedo.
Yeah.
And they're still...
Bissouma.
They lost Bissouma. They're so good.
They're the new Southampton.
I'm so envious.
They are the new Southampton.
Yeah. They'll run out, of course, because obviously they'll get plucked out, and that's what's going to happen. So in 2 years, they'll probably be plucked out.
No, but they feel like they have a system.
Yeah.
Like we were speaking about Brentford and Brighton. They lost out on Graham Potter. And that transition's been seamless.
It has been seamless. In fact, Graham Potter's struggling at Chelsea to the point where it feels like, wait, was it him or was it just the system was that good?
It's such a good system that I feel like they've sorted it out. They've got it going well.
No, but I think Brighton's also such a great example to why you need a robust backroom structure behind the manager. The whole issue with directors of football and all of that is so important. Where your manager is not a manager anymore. He's just a head coach. He's not overlooking the management of the club. That's what your director of football is doing. But yeah, Mitoma, man, he had a great World Cup with Japan as well. I mean, Japan generally had a great World Cup, but much like the Japanese fans, he cleaned Liverpool up after the game.
I don't even have a comeback like Liverpool.
You don't need to. But there was terrible refereeing in the game, though. I saw the Fabinho challenge, which was unpunished.
That was clear red card. That's clearly a tackle. That was a really bad call, I thought.
I mean, clearly a tackle to...
Of course, yeah, fair.
Mike Lowen in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
You'd be the worst referee in the world. Yes, that is a tackle.
No, let's begin with stating the obvious. Liverpool lost. Correct.
Yes.
That was the tackle. Correct.
Yes.
That was overlooked by the referee a little. Correct. That should have been more severely punished for sure.
You think the referee also took pity on Liverpool, saying, "Yaar, if I send off Fabinho, then एक और midfielder come हो जाएगा Liverpool के लिए. We can't have this. We're a cultural behemoth in England."
But I think the game would have been better had he been sent off. I think maybe like just been more graceful to lose 3-1 without. It's like now you had a call go in your favor and you still lost, as opposed to one player did a reckless thing and because that player went off, we lost 3-1 or 4-1. That sounds more respectable than we did a little bit of cheating and yet we lost to a last minute winner.
I mean, yeah, I guess overall justice was served in a certain way. But yeah, it's nice to see Brighton overcoming underdogs.
I think in the larger context, for the sake of football on the whole, I think it's just lovely to see Brighton shine.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see Mitoma shine. Players like him coming in, going against the
Take your time. It's not like a recording is on. It's fine.
See, I told you the lag will happen.
Yeah,
the lag will happen.
Is Mukesh internet connection bad? Is his brain?
I'm just too overcome by sadness. I think going against the popular thread of how players are made or where players come from, I think it's nice to see Asian players shine and do well in the Premier League.
So wait, popular thread. Which one of the two words was the one that you forgot?
Oh, that's not the word I was looking for, but I just pieced together a random phrase.
What is the word you were looking for?
I still don't know which is the word I'm looking for.
When we go for a break, can you figure out in the middle of the break and then come back in the second half with it?
Yes, I can try.
Okay, cool. Right. On that note, let's move to the next game. The big one in the FA Cup fourth round was also Man City versus Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. The first time this season that Guardiola and Arteta went face to face. Of course, first and second in the Premier League as well. Lots was riding on this game. It was supposed to be an epilogue a prologue. Forgetting my epis and pros.
See, I'm not the only one who's having some log on lag here.
You though forgot a word. I just said the wrong word. There wasn't dead air when I did shit.
That's how it always begins.
Anyway, so the prologue. It was supposed to be the prologue to how this title race is going to play out, and it didn't really do anything. Nathan Ake scoring the only goal of the game in the 64th minute. Pretty evenly matched, I thought.
I think Pep and Mikel must have spoken and said, look, the Premier League's the one that actually matters. Here we'll put it was second string side sort of. They were like, let's just give the young ones a run out.
In all honesty, I think none of the clubs that really want to challenge for the titles care for the FA Cup unless they've reached the semis. If somehow the second and B and C teams take you till the semis, and then only I think the top teams will get serious about it.
Yeah.
So this clearly seems. I don't see a future where Mikel Arteta would have cared about the FA Cup when he's so close to being Arsenal royalty.
I don't think any manager actually has that feeling. I mean, as fans, we talk about how certain managers will prioritize certain tournaments over the other, where the league is always the priority and the cup, the FA Cup, and definitely the Carabao Cup is an afterthought. But I don't think that's the case, because at the end of the day, you're going to win silverware at the end of the season, and regardless of what anybody says, getting your hands on a trophy, no matter what trophy it is going to boost the morale of your team and going to create that winning mentality in your squad. Right?
Sure, but
I would argue that Arsenal are a team that desperately need that. And yes, they're going for a title. They're going for a title after many, many years. But if there is another trophy also that they can go for, they should be going for it, because
I think we've had a iteration of this discussion last season or something, or maybe the season before that.
We've done 200 episodes. We've had an iteration of every discussion possible.
At this point, we should just start speaking in gibberish. No,
or discuss Vishal Malhotra.
The Vishal Malhotra podcast.
The Vishal Malhotra podcast. No, I think given that Mikel Arteta is on the precipice of glory, right? He's the one coming to break the Guardiola and says that it's somewhat Klopp hierarchy within English football. I don't think he wants to take any of the cups seriously.
I would like to humbly put Erik ten Hag in the middle of this discussion.
And we like to equally humbly reject it and send it back.
Really? Really? You're going to equally reject and humbly send back the prospect of Erik ten Hag also being a manager capable of destroying the Klopp Guardiola
Not this
duopoly.
season for sure. Maybe next season. The way United are playing, maybe next season.
I mean, he's already defeated Guardiola once. So,
Arsenal could potentially win the Premier League. No, United's not winning. Okay, in a realistic scenario, United's not winning the Premier League. In your head, I don't know what the hell's going on. But I agree with him. I feel like for Arteta, being up there is a lot more important. I think if he had to concentrate on one other competition, for them it would be the Europa League, where they've topped their group and they're doing well.
Easily cutting out what 5 matches are left, and I think the FA Cup, if they take it till the end, about 5-6 matches. How many ever? There's no chance he wants to play those extra 5 matches.
Especially business end of the table, when they're going to try and make sure that they can keep
more
City
than
off
any
their
of us.
leads.
He's probably aware that the last 9 matches is where not only has Arsenal faltered before during the times when he was a player, but also that's where most teams have faltered. Case in point, Liverpool.
And that's when City is also strongest.
City is the strongest. So that's when City are guaranteed to get 30 out of 30 points, or at least 27 out of 30 points.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to mess around. I mean, it's very obvious that if Nathan Ake is your deciding factor, then I think...
But on that point, that's a very good point, because the biggest issue that Arsenal are going to face now as we get into the second half of the season and as we get into this new year 2023 is that the difference in the squad depth between City and Arsenal. That's going to be a big point in figuring out who finally wins the Premier League this season, because City just have a very scary squad depth, but Arsenal just do not. So,
But City also have their eyes firmly on the Champions League. Pep's going to want that. So there's that additional distraction, which even Arsenal will have with the Europa League. So it is going to be one of those 7-point lead versus squad depth kind of situations. And those 2 games, when they finally play each other, are going to be really, really key. Like, I feel like if Arsenal can get 4 points out of those 2 games, that would give them pole position even more.
Right. Let's quickly talk about Man United 3, Reading 1, another fixture in the FA Cup 4th round where the underdogs won.
Reading?
No, but it was Brazilian flavor all throughout, man. 2 goals from Casemiro, a 3rd goal added by Fred assisting Casemiro's second goal, Anthony assisting Casemiro's first. It was just all Brazil all throughout. It was fucking fantastic.
Casemiro's really hit form, no?
He's really hit form, and a couple of seasons ago, United fans were just crying out loud for a decent defensive midfielder. Like, everybody was just like, yaar, this McTominay-Fred partnership is not working. And the thing is, since Erik ten Hag has come in and since Casemiro has joined the team, both McTominay and Fred have upped their game. So whenever they do play, they are much better players than they were 2 seasons ago. I wouldn't be averse to having them play more games, but fuck, just the addition of Casemiro in that setup is proving to be such a boon. The guy is very calm on the ball. He's super professional, breaks down attacks, distributes the ball well, scores 2 great goals sometimes. It's mad.
I think that's what you said is key, which is that he's very calm on the ball, which I think United didn't have the last couple of seasons, which is that, and that's where getting all the players who've come from, I think, at least league winning teams, if not Champions League winning teams, has really helped. Of course, I'm sure Ten Hag has introduced new great coaching systems and he's tightened existing ones, but I think that calmness that you see in United now was something I was missing in the last couple of years, because none of them had been part of any winning teams, like league winning teams, Champions League winning teams. They could do great comebacks, like in one singular match maybe, but they weren't teams that could win. I think this calmness has really helped United. Like, I think that's what really separates this United team from the United teams of the past.
But I heard that United's planning on selling McTominay.
He was, I mean, I don't know how much of this is true, but he wanted to go to Newcastle to get more minutes and more cash. Because, I mean, why else would anybody go to Newcastle at this point? Everybody's just like, paisa. But because obviously he's not been playing as much as he was in the previous seasons, because now there is a competent player who can play ahead of him. So his role has been reduced to squad player again. But I don't know. He's an academy product. He's served the club well. He's done his job. So if we get a good enough offer from Saudi Arabia, I say Saudi Arabia because Newcastle as a club, let's agree that it has ceased to exist. But yeah, if we get a good offer from Newcastle with some amazing money, then why not? It's an academy product. We make good profit. Reinvest.
Almost over the hill, no? How old is he now?
31. So he still has 3-4 years in him.
Right.
3-4 years though. I mean, next season again, he'll be at his peak. Then the decline, I feel, will start.
Right.
But I think Ten Hag's also managing him really well. So yeah, I feel like honestly, even if McTominay moves on, there are a few young academy graduates that are waiting to kind of come in. So we'll
to come in, become squad player, and then be sold because some other big name
yeah,
players.
exactly. So that's the United model, right? So
Right.
there is that. All right, before we end the first half, let's quickly talk about Wrexham versus Sheffield United. What a game this was!
What a game.
It was
Hollywood.
Full on.
You just wanted to say that, didn't you?
Yeah, I just wanted to say Hollywood.
Hollywood is exactly how we could describe this because, of course, Wrexham are a League Two team. Recently promoted to League Two from non-league. They are, of course, owned by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. They have a great documentary series. I don't know if you guys have watched it. I don't know if the listeners have watched it, but welcome to Wrexham. Please watch it. I think it's on Hotstar.
Yeah, it's on Hotstar.
Fantastic series.
Yeah, I should watch it.
Sheffield, of course, have been a Premier League team for a long time now in the Championship, but
don't have a documentary.
don't
Right.
exactly. So, who's the underdog here?
Who's the underdog here?
Right,
It's the one without the
clearly-
documentary.
Clearly Sheffield. But Sheffield took the lead in the second minute. Wrexham came back to go 2-1 up. Sheffield equalized 2-2. Wrexham made it 3-2 in the 86th minute, and then in the last minute, Sheffield equalized 3-3, and it goes to a replay now. This is just fantastic.
Yeah, and this is why we've discussed and debated replays a lot.
Yeah.
But this is why we have replays,
Yeah.
because this is going to be a fun game.
But the thing is, so this game was at the racecourse. I feel like the Wrexham ground is called the racecourse. Yeah, I feel like
think
this
so.
was at the racecourse. So it was at Wrexham. So now they'll be going to Bramall Lane for the replay, which is again a great experience for the Wrexham boys to go to a stadium like that and play there. But I'm really hoping that Wrexham knock Sheffield out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Wrexham come up the ranks and, probably meet Everton next
You
year.
know
in
why I'm
Champions
most
League
excited for Wrexham to do well?
Season 2 of the documentary.
Not just that, but I feel like more owners will be like, maybe a documentary is the secret to success. 'Cause, and there'll be 2-3 really random teams that are going to have documentaries about pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. The Accrington Stanley story or something like that. There'll be some stories about some really shitty teams that are actually really shitty. And that's going to be exciting to watch.
I mean, it worked for Arsenal.
Yeah, didn't work for Spurs. Was always working for City.
All or nothing, really, they chose nothing.
One can say even Juventus chose nothing because even I think they had the original All or Nothing.
They had the original
They
All
had
or
the
Nothing.
original All or Nothing documentary in the football sense, and with everything that's going on with Juventus, have you followed the story by the way?
Yeah, I
15
have.
points have been docked because of financial irregularities. But yeah, that's for when we launch our European
Yeah.
podcast.
La corner of flag.
Speaks in Italian.
I can't wait for when these financial fair play rules come to the Premier League as well, because Chelsea
बूढ़ा हो जाएगा तू बूढ़ा हो जाएगा वो
नहीं
नहीं आने
आने
वाला
वाला
है इतना जल्दी नहीं आने वाला है
Chelsea will have to pay some 2 million fine or something like that.
Wait, don't talk too much. Everton also might have to pay. Everton's not such a clean club also.
But they've already been sanctioned. That's the whole point. No, they've already they've paid the penalty by being sanctioned and having no sponsors now.
Yeah.
They'll be like, what do you got? 0 points? That's better than what we have already.
Yeah, I mean, then there's no hope of surviving.
Oh, so you're saying that we definitely get relegated and not go through the hard part of maybe we might? Great. Cool. Now we know what we're doing next season.
Wrexham, here we come.
Right, let's take a quick break. On the other side, we'll talk about all the other transfer happenings in the world of football as we get closer and closer to deadline day, which is tomorrow, or well, today, if you're listening to it when it releases.
Or yesterday, if you're like, have you not learned your lessons, Amogh? Got 200 episodes.
Let's just go to a break. Welcome back to the Corner Flag, everybody, and as always, we begin the second half with some questions.
Questions with the Corner Flag.
Dude, answers also, huh?
Okay, first question is by PRS MUFC. He says, how is Salah onside against Wolves but Weghorst offside against Reading? What the fuck VAR?
I haven't watched the offside decisions. But
Yeah.
I agree with what the fuck VAR.
I think we
because-
all agree with the sentiment. What the fuck we are?
I think, PRS MUFC, the answer to your question, WTF VAR is WTF VAR.
With an exclamation mark this
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Fazil Abbas Baratwala says, congratulations on 200 episodes. Thank you, man. Also, LOL at Liverpool. Thank you, man. Akash Goswami.7 says, आपकी teams का पठान कौन? This is great. I haven't seen Pathan. You two have. So,
Yeah.
See, Pathan gets beaten up a lot. So I guess Liverpool itself is Pathan right now. So yeah, I guess Liverpool overall is just Pathan right now in terms of the getting beaten up part.
I feel like Everton doesn't have a Pathan because Richarlison was our Pathan and then he left and then we decided that Anthony Gordon is our Pathan and then, well, we
They are
kept him.
Besharam Rang.
They're just Besharam.
They're Besharam, yeah.
United the Pathan. I don't know. Is this whole thing being beaten up or is this whole thing like true patriot and
The
like?
true patriot.
So I guess
And
Marcus Rashford.
Savior.
Marcus Rashford right now in current form, I'd say Marcus Rashford because Manchester born and bred, is playing well, often scores the goals that save us in dire situations. So yeah,
Takes care of hungry kids.
yes,
All of that, yeah.
very dildar, very
Fits,
dildar guy. Prerna_97. I feel like this is a new listener and I feel like this is the first time she's gotten in touch. So hello Prerna, welcome
Hi,
to
Prerna.
the Corner Flag. Prerna_97's question is, what are the chances of Liverpool finishing above Brighton?
From the back or no?
Don't stall for time, Mukesh.
I don't want to answer this. You guys take it. You guys.
Why? No. It's a Liverpool question, my friend. You have to only
I
answer.
think Brighton and Liverpool will finish exactly at the same level.
Exactly at the
They
same
will
level.
be co-10th. They will both be 10th.
No, yeah, I think Brighton has a better
Higher
finish
chance. They
there.
have a better finish.
I mean, right now, okay, Liverpool are 9th.
Yeah.
They only a 2-point gap.
Liverpool,
I think.
Liverpool are 9th with 29 points. Brighton are 6th with 31 points. But Liverpool have to get over Brentford and Fulham to get to Brighton.
Oh my
So,
god.
you know, like for an underdog team,
Correct.
heavyweights like Brentford and Fulham,
And to compete with the best like Brighton.
yeah,
that
it's
is-
going to be very tough. Yeah.
That
It's going to
is-
be very, very tough. I
They'll
hope that,
make it.
how the underdogs have fallen.
I hope that answers your question, Prerna, even though Mukesh has tried very hard not to answer your question.
I'm trying to be jokey about it, but it sucks because when you're really sucky, the jokes don't work because they just sound like, yeah, that's a fact. That's a.
It's like one more punch to Pathan.
Yeah.
There is no bhai to come save.
There is no bhai to come save Liverpool.
I feel like your laughter is transitioning into tears, like just the tears of sadness.
Tears of sadness.
Cries internally. Right, final question is from me_may_esh, whose name we have decided in the last episode is most probably Nimesh. He says, 3 players your team need to buy this summer. Realistically answer dena, guys. Now, there's 2 ways we can do this. Because he has said realistically answer dena, guys, we should be very, very unrealistic about it.
Correct.
So go.
I think that girl from Bend It Like Beckham.
Yes.
Uh,
Jack Grealish.
Then time travel and get Steven Gerrard back in that peak era. And then Jude Bellingham. That also seems pretty unrealistic right now. So yeah.
I thought you would, but yeah, you're still being unrealistic about this. Aakarsh, your turn.
I'm going to say Sunil Chetri, my 16-year-old youth graduate from my FIFA team, and Diego Maradona.
Okay. I'm going to say me. Me. And me. That's as unrealistic as it
Oh
can
my
be.
god, I would love to make this transfer to United happen.
Yeah.
Where Amogh just goes there.
Yeah. Why? Because there's going to be a screenplay attached to it called
Mumbai to Manchester.
Okay. I thought I'll fictionalize it and I'll make my home base Madurai.
Madurai, yeah? Excellent. Yeah.
Okay. Now, should we give the answer realistically also?
Okay, we should give a realistic answer.
Yeah, because he's asked for it.
Yeah.
So maybe we should. I think, okay, I'll start with this one. I feel like we desperately need one more good centre back because I feel like Maguire's going to be sold next season. So we need one good centre back who will be a good backup with Victor Lindelof. And I feel like we need a younger number 10 because Eriksen's not getting any younger.
And he limped off field or something.
He
right?
limped off field, yes, he did. Fucking Andy Carroll, man.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck off.
He's the boy Liverpool needs.
By the way, just going back to that terrible challenges by Andy Carroll. I don't know if you saw it. 2 challenges. One, he took Eriksen out and injured him, left the ground in crutches. Then again pulled the same tackle on Casemiro and then got sent off.
Nice.
How dumb is this guy?
Tiger zinda hai.
Yeah, but
I think he wanted to go home early and the first tackle didn't work. The referee was like Mukesh said, it is a tackle.
Yeah.
I was like, but what kind of tackle? So he had to go all out with that second one.
No,
on
Andy
Casemiro.
Carroll is so dumb. He's a striker who's wearing the number 2 on the back of his shirt.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that, guys? By the way, just to digress a little bit. Thoughts on Andy Carroll, a striker wearing number 2?
I mean, I feel like Amogh, you'll get this reference, but you've played Football Manager and every now and then the striker comes to you and says, Coach, I think I want to become a central defender because it will increase the length of my career.
Dude, that has never happened to me on football.
Really?
No.
It happens constantly to me. I've had like Marco Arnautovic and all that.
How bad are you managing your players? And they're like, listen, man, you can't coach me as a striker, my defense kilega.
Did you choose Everton or did Everton choose you?
I ask myself that question every night before I go to sleep, and sadly there's no answer. But yeah, Andy Carroll must have been like, I have the height for it. I'm half decent at headers.
Yeah.
And I'll not have to run around as much.
Fair. Alright, realistically, players that your teams need to buy.
Jude Bellingham.
That answer goes both ways, huh?
Yeah, Jude Bellingham. This might sound a little like left of field or whatever, but left of center, whatever it's called, left of field, whatever that means. But Son from Tottenham, I would actually...
Which is great because he plays
on the left.
and also because I know Klopp really wants him. And maybe Enzo, I can't think of any great midfielder in the current era who's exciting and young. I want someone below 22. Because I want a long-term future at Liverpool, not someone who's like 27. And so yeah, maybe Enzo. I don't know. So maybe I would say Enzo, Jude Bellingham, and Son. Oh my God, Enzo, Jude, and Son sounds like if someone started like a new Beatles band.
I think Everton needs someone who can create goals, someone who can score goals, and someone who will tell Everton I'm coming and then actually come and not go to Tottenham. So yeah, I don't have very high demands.
Awesome. Right. Those were all your questions. Thank you so much for writing into us. We always love listening into you. And please do keep writing in again. Right. Now, let's also talk about Everton in a little more detail because much like we just looked at Arnaud Danjuma saying that he's coming to Everton and then saying, yeah, no, fuck this, it's a dumpster fire. I'm going to go to Tottenham instead. By the way, how did that make you feel that a player decides to go to Tottenham, which is no less of a dumpster fire?
Listen, before Aakarsh begins, should we talk about Tottenham though?
No, I feel like Tottenham is not a dumpster fire compared to Everton. I've been sitting 19th or 20th or whatever. I've not even looked. My phone doesn't scroll that far down anymore. But like, he came, took training gear, met all the club officials, was supposed to start training, and he was like, nah, I actually came for Lampard. Lampard's gone, so see you later, alligator.
But he didn't sign the contract, or?
He didn't.
But he took the training gear.
So all of that was happening. All of that had happened. It was just literally signing on the dotted line.
Do you think he gave the training gear back?
I have no idea. Maybe he's hanging there with Richarlison saying, Yaad hai?
Maybe Richarlison sent him there just to be like, listen, I really miss the Everton training gear. Yeah. Like, my cousin wants, so just get now.
Okay, Amogh, listen, isn't it weird that Aakarsh said he had everything sorted except he didn't sign the contract? I'm like, that's the biggest thing. Like, who says that? Wait, what kind of shit small club mentality? We gave him the kit. How much more serious do you want to get? I can get an Everton jersey if I want to. That doesn't mean I'm close to signing for them. You have to sign a contract, Aakarsh.
Don't tell me, tell Everton. Because they put him in front of the media. Dude, there were quotes doing
Oh my God.
There was a Danjuma quote doing the rounds from his presser, which was leaked.
Oh my God.
The jokes write themselves here. He put one of the statements he made was that I can't wait to start working for this club and fighting, and I will make sure that they survive and they stay in the league.
oh my God, this is insane. Oh, we just didn't do the signing the contract part. I'm like, that's the first step.
That is Everton. You know, like on the way here, we were talking about it, and Mukesh, you asked me if like how I was feeling, and I have decided in life that I am going to start looking at Everton like a sitcom as opposed to a drama.
Yeah.
You change the background music of a scene and the entire emotion changes, right? So now there is sound effects to the back.
Yeah.
But that is what happens with Everton. Sab kuch kar lo, acha sign nahi kiya. That was the last thing. That was literally the last thing he had to do.
Oh my God. Oh.
But I feel
So
like
anyways, is that
Everton
Tottenham.
players or like Everton officials forgetting things has been a consistent theme, because wasn't in the Ancelotti season where Yerry Mina forgot his shin pads?
Sidibe forgot his socks. So, matlab, this is a team where the financial team forgets to make the player sign a contract. The player forgets to wear a sock.
But the kit man has sent the jersey. That's the guy.
Give him the promotion, guys. He deserves it. Uska appraisal karwa do abhi. But yeah, so Arnaud Danjuma has not gone to Everton, even though he's got the Everton training kit.
Yeah.
But he's gone to Tottenham. Anthony Gordon is the latest transfer that has gone out of Everton. Anthony Gordon going to Newcastle for what? 30 million? 40 million pounds?
40 million up front and 5 million in add-ons.
Wow.
Which is not bad at all, considering academy graduate, considering he decided he doesn't want to show up for training, considering he's been in quite poor form.
I mean, this is great, right? Anthony Gordon, when he came out of the scene, we were all, and you too definitely as an Everton fan, but me too, was very excited by the prospect of this player because he looked really, really good. You know, he's that typical. He has a messy like vibe about him, and when I say that, I mean that he is short and has a low center of gravity, so he can twist and turn around a lot.
You know, I feel like honestly, and this is why in the summer when he was going to go, I wasn't sad that he was going to leave. Is that he feels like one of those players that has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And like you said, he is nifty on his feet, but he has a lot of work to do. His finishing is terrible. His decision making is terrible.
Yeah.
His hairstyle is terrible. There's an incredible tweet doing the rounds that says Anthony Gordon 2022-23 highlights, and it's just a cropped photo of his hair.
That's the biggest contribution he made to.
That is, yeah.
You talk about his decision-making skills, but one could argue that moving to Newcastle is a good decision.
He's working on it. He's clearly working on it. He's gotten better already.
Yeah.
But I think the way it happened is a little bit sad because he just decided not to show up for training. He put in a transfer request, and what also happened was Tuesday was a crazy day for Everton where Bielsa came, and we'll get to that and all. But Danjuma thing happened. Onana and Gordon both didn't turn up to training, and that news was all over Twitter, and people were like, "Oh, they're both going to leave." It then became obvious that Gordon's going to leave, and Onana came out with a statement saying, not an official statement, but basically he rejected Chelsea and Arsenal because he said, this is my club and we've gotten into this mess and I'm going to fight for the survival of the club. And Anthony Gordon, who's been at the club for a decade now, he's been at the club since he was 11, born Scouser, born 2 miles away from Goodison Park, decided to leave and then put out a statement where he told the fans, please stick with your club. They really need you. We need you also. But anyways, he's gone 40 million. That's great. I hope Everton get the time to reinvest the money.
I mean, the fact that they've turned up with paperwork is the biggest win.
No, Newcastle had to do it. Leaving certificate, I don't know if Gordon's gotten yet or not, but Newcastle got everything that they needed.
But I feel like he has stuck by the club, no? Because he got the club 40 million pounds when all their sponsors are gone. Like, the club is in desperate need of money. He's done the right
They can
thing.
get a new printer.
A pen. The contract was printed. It was a pen.
And the thing is, you can also expect Liverpool, you can also expect Everton to spend 40 million pounds on a pen because that's how their finances work.
Yeah. Without checking whether the refill is full, not full.
That'll be another 20 million for the refill, guys. Sorry. But yeah, so that's Anthony Gordon. Even in the manager search, Marcelo Bielsa, you were talking about some interesting developments with old Marcelo.
It was obviously nothing can not be interesting with Bielsa, but with Bielsa, he was one of the front runners of the job because Moshiri wanted him, not because the director of football wanted him, since we were discussing the structure of a club.
Yeah.
But Everton, obviously, Moshiri wanted Bielsa. Bielsa first said, yeah, I'm interested. Then he said, no, not really. Then he said, okay, we'll come and talk. He went, met the people, had apparently a really, really long presentation. Like, obviously, it's Bielsa. He would. Spoke to them for a while, came up with the plans. He was so meticulous that he had gone through Google Maps and Google Streets and Google Earth's view and found the house that he wanted to stay at. So everyone was obviously really impressed with how detailed he is. And then at the end, he was like, just one thing, I'll come on board as the under-21 manager. Your main team's not ready to have me. So you pay me $1 million a month, I'll get my team. We'll take care of the under-21s. And then in the summer, we'll see what happens. And they were like, what? He's like, yeah, this is the house. I found it already. You just need to...
This is all great and all, but I don't know if Marcelo Bielsa realized that you can't buy a house on Google Maps. ऐसा नहीं कि तुम मैप पे दिखा ये मेरा घर है. ये तो मैंने भी किया लाइफ में. हाँ, प्रतीक्षा, अमिताभ बच्चन का बंगला, ये मेरा घर. एक दिन तो देख ले, I will be there. But that doesn't mean shit. Because what's going to happen? This is my house, and there's a sweet fucking family living there, and Marcelo Bielsa is there, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, this is my house. No, it's not. It's our house. And then he pulls out a grenade.
They're a match made in heaven, huh? No paperwork belief in both sides. Just turn up.
Yeah.
No, but there's two aspects to it. I think one is that Marcelo must have done his research on Everton and he was like, they hired Rafa Benitez because he knows the area.
Yeah.
So मैं Google Map पे पूरा tour करता हूँ. And secondly, this is a football manager who flew from South America to England to give an interview at a club that is in the relegation zone and is struggling for survival and said, I'm going to take charge of the reserve team, the under-21 team. It's hardly ridiculous that he cherry-picked a house on Google Maps.
Guys, I have a theory about how Everton's getting these top-class managers. I feel like behind doors, there is some drinking game truth or dare happening where all the losers are given this dare. They're like, go manage Everton for a year. And that's it. There is no logical explanation to have Carlo Ancelotti, Rafa Benitez and Bielsa. It doesn't make sense. You can't be pulling these level of managers.
No, with Bielsa, I feel like what happened is, what's that show that's really popular where friends tell each other, like that prank show where they're in your ear.
Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers is someone was in Bielsa's ear and he was like, now tell them you'll train the under-20.
Yeah. Everton, yes. Okay. See, I agree that Everton is an impractical jokers club. Like, it's not a real club.
It's ridiculous. It has to be. Like, another thing that happened on Tuesday was that The Guardian put out a statement saying Moshiri has put the club for sale.
Yeah.
12 minutes, literally 12 minutes later, Everton's YouTube page put out a 30-minute interview that Moshiri did the previous week where he's like, I'm totally committed to the club. We're not selling the club. We might look for investment for the stadium, but we're not selling the club.
Yeah, we're not selling the club. We just want investment for 100% of the ownership. That's it, guys. That's it. And we have contracts to prove it. Right,
we've not signed it. It's there.
But the contracts hai. Pen abhi tak aaya nahi hai. Printer is working. Let's talk about Brighton because Moses Caicedo wants out after Trossard decided that he wanted out of this Brighton project and wanted to go to a bigger and better club, which he did. He went to Arsenal. Bigger, yes, better, I don't know. But now Moises Caicedo...
They're table toppers, man.
Yeah, but it's Arsenal. It feels weird. It feels unnatural to call them a better club.
Football isn't about table topping, okay? Football is about more than that. That sucks saying that.
Yeah. Football is about...
It's about how much you pump your fist after the
draw. It's about singing You'll Never Walk Alone.
Yeah, it's not about who's first or second or third or fourth. It's not about
fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth. It's 9.
It's 9. That's the sweet spot. Anyway, so Moises Caicedo wants out. He put out a statement saying that he's very happy about his time at Brighton, but it's time for a new challenge, which is all great. But you've put out a statement which you would technically put out after your transfers sealed. Because right now he's still a Brighton player. He's said pretty much goodbye to everyone. But Brighton are constantly rejecting bids because they just rejected a £70 million bid from Arsenal.
But that's the beauty of being a club like Brighton. You have that system where you can say no, and even if they get 70 million, I feel like they probably have 5 different options lined up, each who fits the bill, fits the system, young, affordable. They'll be fine. With a club like Brighton, Casado can hold them hostage and they'll be like, we don't care. But if, like speaking of Everton, if Gordon says, I want to go, you have to sell him because you can't afford to keep an unhappy player who could be worth money. Brighton, man. What a system.
Very, very good system. On the other end, Chelsea have just announced the signing of Malo Gusto from Lyon. He's been signed as a right back. He's been signed from Lyon. He's going to spend the rest of the season on loan back at Lyon. Which is really weird because these deals, I find very, very weird because they've done all the press. He's worn the kit. He's signed the contract, Aakarsh, because that's what they do first. Then they do the media.
Did he get the training gear? Socks pehna hai?
Pretty much, सब मिला है. पर contract भी signed है.
Okay.
Officially हो गया. And now he's going back to his old club. Like, I wonder what people at the old club also feel. Like, अरे तू वापस आ गया?
This is like, I don't know, do you guys ever have this in college or school where someone knows they're going to another school next year? So the last 2-3 months, they don't give a shit what they do in school.
Exactly.
This is that.
It makes no sense. But anyway, Chelsea are buying everyone. Everyone. They're still going back for Enzo Fernandez now. I think it's a 120 million euro bid that they've given Benfica, which is his release clause. And now Enzo's also like, "Chalna yaar, abhi jaane de yaar mere ko." Because he's been very patient throughout this whole saga. Benfica is like, no, we don't want to sell him. We don't want to sell him. We don't want to sell him. Enzo's like, I want to go, but I'm on contract here, so I respect it. Good behavior. At 120 million euros, he's also like, bro.
No, and it's also one of those things where they're like, money is not everything. And he's like, wink, wink, yeah. And they're like, 120 million? He's like, bro, come on, it's 120 million. He's like, money's not everything. Wait, you actually mean that? That's ridiculous.
But you think they'll buy more players?
Yeah, I think Todd Bowley is still functioning on the formation of 4-4-3 like he was pre-season. So he's like, we need to fill in more players.
He's making an NFL team. He's making an American football team.
Even with the contracts that they've been offering of 7.5 years, 8 years and all that, it's just... Does he know that only 11 players play and it's not like at defense you change the entire team during offense?
I don't think he knows that. He might try to bring that rule into the European football game, but I don't think he knows that yet. Fresh off the press though, and we all spoke about this before we started recording, Joao Cancelo to Bayern on loan. Looks like it's happening.
It's happened.
Oh, it's happened?
It's happened.
Oh, it's
the loan has happened.
This is the difference between teams that are placed 9th and teams that are placed 2nd.
Oh, teams that are placed 9th have more time to browse the news?
No, just teams that are placed 9th stick on to players who are deadweight and persist with them for years. And Joao Cancelo has had a drop off, even though he's not.
Okay, he does, but it's weird that you call Joao Cancelo a deadweight, man, because he's.
No, I'm not talking about the players in Liverpool. I'm saying he's had Liverpool have held on to players who are pretty much deadweight. Joao Cancelo has had a drop in form and he's gone to Bayern Munich. That's incredible, and it's also a good transfer for him.
It's a good transfer for him.
I think for him, it's not. It's brutal, but it's not brutal to the point of being like he's thrown to Fenerbahce or something in Turkey, right? He's going to a good club that needs him, that can work with him, that can probably give him a second lease of life. But this is the kind of business that Liverpool needs. Yeah.
What, taking him in on loan like they had with Milner?
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up this episode by talking about Cristiano Ronaldo a little bit because he has made his debut for Al Nassr in the Saudi Pro League. He's in his debut, I think Al Nassr lost the game. He didn't score a goal. And Rudy Garcia pointed out that he didn't score a goal. He mentioned that Cristiano missed a chance. So kind of blamed Cristiano for the loss. In the stadium, got taunted by fans who were chanting Messi, which is just, it's poetic. It's so...
No.
It's so dumb. It's so basic that they think that he's going to be offended or annoyed because they're chanting his greatest rival's name at him, and the weirdest thing is he is going to be offended. It should be beneath him, but it's not. So it's just fantastic. But Rudy Garcia, Al Nassr manager, has said that Ronaldo will return to Europe.
I mean, at some point he'll have to go home to Portugal.
No, but he says he still has a season in the top flight in Europe in him, and he'll go. तो मतलब ये this
Finland में भी होता है.
This fairy tale is ending before it even began.
You think he'll be sent out on loan because he's that shit?
Yeah, Newcastle maybe.
No, he won't go to
PSG.
Newcastle.
Newcastle looks like they've become smart.
Yeah, they're very smart, and they've categorically denied that.
Correct. In football, people who have categorically denied things haven't gone on to do them. There are players who've signed on for clubs who haven't gone on to play for those clubs.
No, I feel like if Chelsea and Todd Boehly realized last season that, Ronaldo's a bit of a mess, Newcastle looks to be making shrewd signings and they're doing well. So I don't think it'll be Newcastle.
All right, on that note, it's time to end this episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening in. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us what you thought of this episode, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Aakarsh on Instagram at
Aakarsh Chandan.
You can find Mukesh on Instagram at
Mukesh Manjunath.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Amogh and Aakarsh.
And that's because he's not Vishal Malhotra, apparently.
I am not Vishal Malhotra, guys. Please Google Vishal Malhotra so you know who he is. If you see him, you'll know who I'm talking about. You can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram and Twitter at @CornerFlagPod. Do visit our website, thecornerflag.in. Visit us on buymeacoffee.com/thecornerflag and support us by buying us a coffee. And if you can't do that, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And do not forget to give us a 5-star review. Thank you to Kezad Gharda for composing our fantastic theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Aakarsh.
Bye.
Say bye, Mukesh.
Bye, guys.
And it's bye from me.
Diamond for diamond, no one compares with Mervis. At Mervis Diamond Importers, our natural diamonds come straight from the mines in Africa, and our mermaid lab-grown diamonds beat all others for quality and value. Come view our brilliant diamonds, both natural and lab-grown. Mervis diamonds are so bright and full of fire they will blow you away. So will the affordable prices. Our diamonds may steal your heart, but not your wallet. See our mermaid lab-grown diamonds and learn how to get a larger diamond for less. You can get a bigger mermaid lab-grown diamonds than you ever thought possible. And with Mervis financing, you can enjoy up to 5 years to pay with 0 interest. A generous full-value trader policy and our lifetime warranty program easily make Mervis your first choice. When you mount a world-class Mervis diamond into a designer ring from our huge collection, there is no equal. Mervis Diamond Importers. For an appointment, call 800-HER-LOVE or go to mervisdiamond.com. Again, that's 800-HER-LOVE or go to mervisdiamond.com.